And if we don't stand up right now and do the right thing, I mean, a curse will be upon this nation. I can't even imagine what God must think watching what's happening at the border there. And Joe Biden is part of the problem.
A curse isn't already on this nation? Before I continue, I'm glad former Arizona gubernatorial candidate and future U.S. Senator candidate Kari Lake didn't wholesale blame President Joe Biden for what's going on at the border because, yeah, he is part of the problem. However, contrary to what Lake just said, we actually can imagine what God thinks about what's going on at the border. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. Whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. When immigrants live in your land with you, you must not cheat them. Any immigrant who lives with you must be treated as if they were one of your citizens. The Lord proclaims, do what is just and right. Rescue the oppressed from the power of the oppressor. Don't exploit or mistreat the refugee, the orphan, and the widow. Don't spill the blood of the innocent in this place. That last one was for what Kari said in the opening clip. Because it's being reported that Texas Governor Greg Abbott has installed barrels wrapped in razor wire in the Rio Grande in an attempt to block migrants from crossing the river. With that said,
it's not about us.
It's so true.
It is so true. What we do in this life has no bearing on anything other than the fact that we serve him.
My dear
and
friend.
we have the option to serve him so we can go to heaven. And if we don't, we won't go to heaven.
That's right.
Hell is real.
Sometimes it feels like we're living in it. Sometimes,
Sometimes
I call it
feels that way.
planet crazy.
Trust me, Ohioans know that hell is real.
The unfortunate truth is that one day when you die, you'll spend eternity in a worse place than you could possibly imagine.
Worse than you could possibly imagine. I already live in Ohio.
People in Columbus and Cincinnati are reminded of this every time we visit one another. Kari Lake is scheduled to appear here in Ohio in a couple of weeks. She's about to learn there will be more believers if we brought heaven here on earth. Until then, it's being reported that Texas's horrific floating border wall and razor wire are killing migrants just as intended. But it's not just people being harmed. Miles of concertina wire also cut wildlife off from their only water source in the midst of this historic heat wave.
And if we don't stand up right now and do the right thing, I mean, a curse will be upon this nation.
And evidently, the Department of Justice has just sued Governor Abbott and Texas over these tactics. Michael Shore and David Schuster are coming after you. What you going to do when they ask a simple question? Don't be like this man. Watch that video in order to prepare yourself. Or you could be like me and tell them, my architect knows Japanese.